Hello, I'm Solomon Savoy. Hey, welcome back to Faith-Based Workplace. If this is your first time, click the bell. That way you subscribe to the channel for future uploads. And also when I go live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If it's not your first time, welcome back. Also, hey, like the video. You can share the video and then also comment as well. This video, as you see the title, Cutting Off Narcissist Supply. So this should be a good one. I'll get right back to that after this. Welcome back. He stayed. But let's get into this one. Again, it's cutting off narcissist supply, but it's going to be from, our point of view, from the empath point of view, like what kind of happens after, the narcissist cuts you off. And this is in no particular order, but just some of the things that I thought of. First, it's going to be the discard. So, they cutting you off or you cut them off, however you want to look at it, it's going to be a discard phase where, they're going to discard you. It's basically like throwing you away, like they never love you. You'll hear things like that. They never cared about you. And then you'll see them quickly get into another relationship within probably weeks, sometimes days. And then sometimes you have to realize that they already started their relationship. So that's one of the reasons why they most likely discarded you. I mean, think about it. If they was able to turn into another relationship that quick, it probably was something there. You might have, especially if they start projecting, accusing you of cheating in the last few months, that'll be a telltale sign that the narcissists probably have moved on, and probably they're cheating on you because they're accusing you of it. Again, projection. So discard is going to be one of those things that, it's like throwing you away like yesterday's garbage, like they like to say, but don't take it personal. It's a tactic that they do. And like I said, they use this, to also move on and move on to a new supply. I know some people don't like saying supply, but in this video, I'm just gonna, use supply, or it can be new person, however you want to say it, but I'll use supply. Let's move on to the next. Delusion. So delusion is when we think that the narcissist, or we thought, should have been thought, or however you want to say it. It's when we thought that the narcissist actually loved us. It's a total delusion. We thought the narcissist cared for us. We thought that, they was Christian. We thought they go, by them going to church every Sunday and 3-4 times during the week, singing in a choir, being on a deacon, some of them been in a pulpit. We thought all this was signs that we had the perfect match. Well, I'm here to tell you, obviously that wasn't the case, because that was our delusional phase that the narcissist put on a fake or a facade to, I guess, bring us in, like will us in and get us on their team. You don't want to be on a narcissist team. Once you realize that delusion is part of the situation, you have to come out of that fog, like some of us like to say. You have to realize that, you gave your all. You showed the narcissist love. You showed that you cared. You probably bought them things. You did things for them. You always had their back. But then in return, you missed those red flags. So the red flags that you miss is some of the things that the narcissist was counting on that you would miss. So now you're trapped in this discord / now delusion phase that you like, really? I gave this person my all, my everything. Somehow, you give everything. When you're in a relationship, you're head over heels in love with this person. But then it comes to find out they're not head over heels in love with you. It's a shocker. It will do something to your psyche. It will do something to you and will have you thinking, like, man, am I not good enough? They have you asking questions like that. Narcissists are known for, after a relationship, they will have you asking, like, what did I do wrong? Am I a narcissist? Am I not good enough? Why didn't they never love me? Or why did they love me and why did they just throw me away? When you find yourself asking these questions, it's part of, what narcissists do. And just know that you are not the only one. It's many, many people, including myself, that has been discarded by the narcissist and also have went through that stage of delusion, trying to figure out like what went wrong and what was our part in it. So just realize that. One of the other phases, that you might go through when you're going through, the cutting off narcissist supply will be anger, because you're real upset, you're angry. Some of us, like the song, I forgot, I can't think of the woman's name, but she had the song, bust the windows out your car and scratch up their car and things like that. You want to burn their clothes. just different things, stalk them. So don't let your anger put you in a situation where you're going to end up in jail or end up at fault for something. And, it's not really who you are. What I'm saying is that's not your character. That's not how you usually act, but it's just because this narcissist then drove you over the edge. Now you're acting out of character and you're showing cases of, anger and things like that. Don't let that be the case. Don't let the narcissist win because that's part of the game. Because now what they can do is they can tell everybody, because they already started rumors. Oh, don't get it twisted. Don't think for a second they didn't start rumors about you, saying that you're crazy, saying that you're always angry, when in fact, we all know that they usually are the angry person. They the one that's abusive and things like that. But as soon as you come up angry, you show up to their job, cursing them out or screaming at them or whatever the case is, they're going to tell all their coworkers, see, I told y'all she was angry. See, I told you he was an angry person. He does things to me at home. So co-workers and or family, you show up to the house, you could be a situation where you show up to the house because you're angry at what, you just wasted, or it seems like you wasted 3 or 4 years of your life, or some of us longer than that, of being with this person, giving them your all, like I said before, and now you're angry about it. But don't let that be the final, nail in the coffin, meaning don't let that one-time decision affect the rest of your life, meaning you end up in jail or dead or, just, arrested and having a record and things like that. So don't let your anger just take over. Drop down to your knees, go to God in prayer. Then after you do that and you have your, like my wife said, you have your little pity party moment, a pity party moment, I should say. Once you have that moment, you need to rise up. You need to stand up, go into the book. And I'm not talking about the Bible this time. I'm talking about going into the book, reading about narcissists, figuring out, some of the signs, some of the traits, recognizing some of these things. That way you won't get you won't get fooled by this type of behavior again in life. And we've seen, stories where they have doctors and people that they psychiatrists and they life coaches and they deal with narcissist abuse and still get fooled by the narcissist. So again, it's not just you. So they're angry. I was angry when I went through my situation. I'm just happy that God protected me from that situation, because if he didn't do that, I would not be sitting in front of you today. So let's move right on into our first Bible verse. It's going to be Ephesians 4:26. If you become angry, do not let your anger lead you into sin, and do not stay angry all day. Shannon and I, we practice the thing that we don't go to bed angry. So if we do have an issue, we just like any other marriage. We're not sitting here saying we're perfect or anything by any stretch. But, if we angry or not really angry, but usually, we have disagreement or something, we try to quickly, come together in prayer, figure out what the problem is and work past it. So we're not going to bed angry or upset. And it's been going very good doing that. So I dare you to try it. I dare you to give it a try, actually go to your spouse and actually, if you're mad, instead of going to sleep on the sofa or leaving the house, trust me, I've been there. Alan B was actually talking about that in Shannon Live the other day. And I had to, sit there and remember it was time I would pull up to the house and see my ex car. I just go for a drive again. Like, I just got off work, but don't want to go home. Or I'll go check into a hotel for the weekend because you just don't want to be bothered with all the craziness. So, things like that, don't let that anger, overcome your situation, whether it's a marriage or whatever situation, even in work. We know we deal with narcissists at work, and they can be low down, dirty people also. They like to fight dirty is what I'm getting at. So even in a workplace situation, don't let your anger overtake you to where you get fired or you're getting written up. Now you got, what I'm saying? Again, it's just like having a record in the civilian world, just out and about. Now you have a write-up. So when they're doing promotions and raises, now they're going to look at you like, oh, wait, I can't give Thomas that raise because he had that write-up when he got angry and, threw a chair or got into a scuffle or whatever the case is. So don't let your anger, like they say in the scripture, last all day. Okay, let's keep moving. Confusion. Confusion is almost like delusion because you're confused about the whole situation. You're confused that you gave this person your all, just like I said before. You're confused about how they was so quickly, they was able to just move past and get to another person. And they'll post things on Facebook like they all in love with this person. They just met them a week ago, and they'll say they never experienced things like this. That's the best love. So all that is a ploy. It's a tactic to get under your skin and people that are your real friends. Because what happens is they know people are watching their social media accounts. They know you watching their social media accounts. That's why I'm a firm believer in when you go on no contact, when you discard it in a narcissist or they discard you, you need to go no contact. Don't get on their social media. That way you don't know what is going on in their life. Also tell family and friends what has happened and tell them you don't want to hear anything about what the narcissist is doing. Trust me, you'll thank me later. You don't want to know. So again, with the confusion, you're going to be in a situation where, you know, everything is confusing. You know, you're like in the fog, you're coming out of it, you know, especially the first few days. Matter of fact, the first few weeks, maybe, matter of fact, the first couple months, you're probably thinking like, what just happened? You know, it's been a few years, but what just happened? So again, don't let that be, you know, the end of everything. You know, you go be able to come out of the confusion. You go be able to see things clearly. And, you know, when you go to God in prayer and you start reading, not just the Bible, but reading other books about narcissists, reading articles about narcissist abuse, start studying these things, you will be able to come to a clear understanding of what you just went through. And you also realize you're not the only one. That's part of why they have these YouTube videos and YouTube channels like mine, and also like Narc Free Living, where my wife discusses narcissist abuse all the time. Subscribe to her channel because she has a lot of good content to talk about. Let's get to the next part. Therapy. I believe that we should go to therapy. And now, do I think therapy is 100% bulletproof? No, I don't. But I think it's part of it. It's like, you know, building a house. You got to have a foundation. You know, you got to have the wood, you know, to build the structure or whatever you're using, and, you know, plywood and everything. And then you also need a roof. So therapy might be like 30% of your healing journey. It's not the sole purpose, but it's part of it. So you need to get into some form of therapy, whether it's a life coach, whether it's a counselor, psychiatrist, whatever the case is, because it's a hard ordeal you just went through. You have to realize that, especially when you didn't gave up years of your life for this person. They just discarded you, or you realize you needed to discard them and go no contact and gray rock and all that. So therapy plays a very big part, or a very big role in your healing journey. So after the discard, therapy, I recommend going to therapy for something like that. All right, let's move to the next thing. Hurt. You're definitely going to be hurt. This probably should have been one of the first things, but like I said, these things that I'm mentioning, they're in no particular order. So hurt would be a big thing to go through, because you're hurt. You know, you're not only your heart, but just in general, you're hurt. You know, your feelings hurt, your heart hurt. You know, you just hurt all over. You know, some of you know you're crying like every day, and you're trying to figure out like why me? You asking God, why me? But I need you to pick yourself up and turn that hurt and that pain into purpose and power. What I mean by that, I mean, you can take that same hurt. God can use that for your purpose or for your power. Now, again, I say this all the time. I'm not saying you have to go start a YouTube channel like I did. Maybe you can write it out. You don't even have to be a book, but you write it out. You start telling other people about narcissist abuse. You just start finding what your purpose is. So that hurt, turn it into power. And then the narcissist will see that. They won't ever tell you, but they'll see it. Trust me, like my wife always say, people are always lurking. They always watching. You never know who watching your channel, but they always around there, just like on my channel. People, I don't know everybody that's watching, but, you know, you use the hurt and the power, and then you'll have a YouTube or maybe a book, or maybe you just have a journal or whatever the case is. And maybe just going to the local, you know, support group meeting and telling your story, and you can help somebody there. So just think about that. Let's get into the next Bible verse, and the final Bible verse to close this out. It's Psalms 147:3. It says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He, being God, will heal all your broken hearts. So all that hurt, all that pain, the therapy, the confusion, the anger, the delusion, the discard, just know God can work all that out. It's going to take time. You have to be patient. You know, a lot of us want these things to happen overnight. It's not going to happen that way, but in time, it will happen. Remember, there's no whipping like a godly whipping. And I live by that. And I know that to be true because a lot of us want, why the narcissists always get away with things? Why the narcissists can discard me and they out there living their best life? My question to you is, are they living their best life? Why are you watching their social media? You don't really know what the narcissist is doing and what they're actually going through. Because think about it. If somebody is demonic as we know they are, I don't think they're really living their best life. They're living a life, but it might not be their best life. So just think about that. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching this video. Don't forget to, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and hey, I'll see you next time on Faith-Based Workplace. Thank you. I'm Solomon Savoy, and I'm out.